The Tesla Model 3. You've probably heard it called a game changer, maybe an iPhone on wheels. It's the car that all other electric cars are measured against. But let's cut through the global hype. The real question is, does this car actually make sense for a buyer in Turkey? Well, let's dig in and find out.
And look, let's be really clear from the start. The car itself is fantastic. But as anyone who's ever bought a car knows, it's never just about the car, right? It's about the price, the running costs, and maybe most importantly, what happens when something goes wrong. And that's where the story for a Turkish buyer gets a whole lot more interesting.
All right, so first up, let's talk about what makes the Model 3 so tempting in the first place. We're specifically looking at the updated Highland version here, which really polished an already incredible car. I mean, just look at these specs. It's so easy to see why people get excited. You've got a massive 660 kilometers of range on the long-range model. That's more than enough for most long-haul trips across Turkey. And it is shockingly fast, hitting 100 kilometers per hour in a blistering 4.4 seconds. Inside, everything revolves around that huge central screen. It's super practical too, with a whopping 682 liters of storage when you combine the trunk and the frunk. Plus, this newer Highland version is way quieter and more comfortable than the original. So on paper, it's pretty much the perfect package of performance, tech, and everyday usability. But, and this is a big but, that amazing package hits its first major roadblock in Turkey, the price. And to really get a handle on the sticker shock, it's helpful to see just how different things are in a market like the UK. And here's the absolute core of the issue. In the UK, someone can get into a brand new long-range Model 3 for a net cost of around £523 a month. How? Through special company car schemes. In Turkey, that kind of system just doesn't exist. You, the buyer, are on the hook for the entire purchase price right up front, which, takes a huge amount of capital. It's a completely different financial universe. So the magic trick that makes this possible in the UK is called salary sacrifice. Basically, you agree to a slightly lower pre-tax salary and your company leases the car for you. The genius part is that the payment comes out before your income is taxed, and that's what slashes the real monthly cost. It's less of a straight-up purchase and more of a really clever, tax-efficient financial tool. But you know what? This golden age of incentives won't last forever, not even in the UK. Starting in April 2025, that free ride of zero tax is ending for premium EVs. Any new electric car over £40,000 is going to get hit with an extra tax. And this isn't just a little policy change. Think of it as a signal. As electric cars become more common, governments everywhere are probably going to start phasing out these early adopter benefits. Okay, so we've established the initial price in Turkey is high. It's a gut punch. But that is only part one of the financial story. Part two is the total cost of ownership. And this, my friends, is where the Model 3 starts to win back a massive advantage. Just have a look at this maintenance schedule. Seriously, forget everything you know about annual oil changes, new spark plugs, or exhaust systems. A Tesla's needs are ridiculously simple. You swap out the cabin air filter every couple of years and get the brake fluid checked every 4. And that's kinda it for major scheduled service. The amount of money you save on maintenance over the years compared to a traditional luxury car is just enormous. And the savings just keep on coming when you need to charge up. See, Tesla runs its own supercharger network, and here in Turkey, if you're a Tesla owner, you get a discount. You'll pay 9.40 Turkish lira per kilowatt hour, while someone with a different brand of EV using that same charger pays 11.70. It might seem small, but it's another one of those little perks that really adds up over the life of the car. So financially, things are starting to look a lot better over the long term. But what about just living with a Model 3 in Turkey day to day? Well, this is where we run into what is, without a doubt, the single biggest risk of the entire ownership experience. The performance is amazing. The running costs are super low. But what happens if you get into an accident? Or, some part fails while it's still under warranty? Here's your answer. And for a country as vast as Turkey, this is a shockingly short list. There are only 4, count them, 4 official Tesla service centers. 2 in Istanbul, 1 in Ankara, and 1 in Izmir. If you live anywhere else, you've got a serious logistical problem on your hands. And that problem gets a whole lot scarier when you read this little clause in Tesla's warranty. You cannot, let me repeat, you cannot take your car to your trusted local mechanic for warranty repairs. If a non-certified technician touches it, you could void your coverage completely. So just imagine, you live in, say, Antalya, and you have a warranty issue. You are now facing the cost and the time of getting your car transported hundreds of kilometers to the nearest official center. This is, hands down, the biggest gamble for any potential buyer. Now, moving on from that major service concern, there are a couple of smaller software quirks that are just part of the experience. Some owners report things like the automatic wipers being a little moody or the Bluetooth connection dropping out now and then. Look, these aren't deal breakers and they often get fixed with those magical over-the-air software updates, but it's something you might deal with day to day. So you weigh the incredible car against the steep price and the very real logistical risks. Should you buy a Tesla Model 3 in Turkey? Well, the decision really boils down to who you are and where you live.
Let's start with scenario 1. If you live in or very close to one of those cities with a service center, and you're the kind of person who really values what this car offers, the tech, the insane speed, the low running costs, then yeah, the Model 3 is an absolutely brilliant choice. The service risk is manageable and the benefits are just undeniable.
But if you're in scenario 2 and live far away from Istanbul, Ankara, or Izmir, this purchase becomes a really high-risk gamble. A simple warranty claim could turn into a logistical nightmare, with your car gone for weeks, not to mention the bill for transporting it. For this group, you have to think very, very carefully. And finally, one last very practical scenario. If you're mostly a city driver and you're thinking about the base rear-wheel drive model, it's an excellent choice, but there is one rule you absolutely have to follow. This model uses a different type of battery, an LFP battery, and to keep it healthy, Tesla is super clear. You have to charge it to 100% at least once a week. It's a simple habit to get into, but it's a crucial one.
So what it all comes down to is this. You have a truly brilliant piece of technology that is held back by physical, real-world logistics. The Tesla Model 3 is a revolutionary car, no doubt about it. But whether it's the right revolution for you right now in Turkey, well, that decision might just depend entirely on your address.